The next economic shock won't start in housing, banks, or government debt. It will start in technology, and millions of Americans are already standing in the blast zone without realizing it. Because this time, the disruption won't just take jobs, it will erase paths, it will collapse ladders, it will create a generation that cannot rise, no matter how hard they try. A revolution is coming. But not everyone survives a revolution. Jobs dissolving, wages freezing, companies hiring without people, startups raising billions with nothing built, and a nation pretending this is progress. So here is the only question that matters. Who actually wins in an AI-driven economy? And who gets quietly exiled from the future? AI has been framed as the technology that will unlock human potential. The truth is far colder. It is already being used as a replacement engine, not a liberation tool. Look at the timeline. AI adoption exploded faster than the smartphone, the internet, or the computer. That kind of speed doesn't come from innovation. It comes from desperation. Corporations aren't embracing AI to empower people. They're embracing it because labor is expensive, investors are impatient, and efficiency has become the new morality. The first wave of jobs replaced by AI wasn't random. It hit the roles that form the entry point into the American middle class. Customer support, junior analysts, copywriting, administrative work, design, data entry, legal assistance, basic coding. These weren't excess tasks. They were training grounds, the places where skills were built, experience gained, and upward mobility began. Destroy the entry point, and you destroy the path. This isn't speculation. The transition pattern appears in multiple long-term labor studies, including those highlighted in Pew Research's workforce displacement analysis, which shows that technological shocks rarely hit high-income workers first. They hit those with the least institutional protection. And we're already watching history repeat itself. Here is the part most people overlook. AI isn't eliminating jobs at the bottom. It's eliminating the jobs beneath the bottom. In every previous technological shift, disrupted workers could fall downward into simpler jobs while they rebuilt their lives. AI collapses that safety net by automating the fallback options too. You lose your job, then lose the job you would have taken next, then lose the job below that. This is not a step down. This is a trapdoor. Meanwhile, something very different is happening at the top. Billions of investment dollars are pouring into companies with no revenue. Valuations rising on nothing but expectation. Boards betting entire futures on tools that don't yet exist. Corporate budgets shifting from hiring talent to eliminating headcount. This is the architecture of a bubble, the early euphoric stage before the collapse. Even the Bank for International Settlements noted in a 2023 briefing that AI investments show classic features of speculative concentration, the same pattern seen before the dot-com crash. But here's what makes the AI bubble uniquely dangerous. When it pops, it won't just wipe out portfolios. It will wipe out people's ability to re-enter the economy. Because this time, technology replaces not only labor, but experience itself. The deeper mechanism looks like this. Step 1. Companies automate low-skill work. Step 2. Entry-level roles disappear. Step 3. Experience required becomes the new hiring default. Step 4. People with no past experience become unemployable. Step 5. A permanent economic underclass forms beneath the workforce. This isn't the future, it's the present tense. When corporations talk about efficiency, this is what they mean. When they talk about lean teams, this is the cost. When they talk about AI-powered workflows, this is the consequence. This isn't an innovation curve, it's a sorting mechanism, a quiet division between those the system intends to keep and those it can afford to abandon. Because AI doesn't distribute opportunity, it concentrates it. A tiny fraction of technical elites rise, a massive group of traditional workers decline, and the gap between them becomes uncrossable. The winners aren't early adopters. The winners are the people AI cannot replicate: owners, capital allocators, model creators, algorithmic governors. Everyone else becomes replaceable by design. But the bubble doesn't form because technology improves. The bubble forms because expectations disconnect from reality. Listen to investor calls today, and you hear the same language from 1999. Total market disruption, limitless upside, unprecedented growth, future-defining technology. And like the dot-com boom, companies are adding AI to products that aren't AI at all, simply to capture investment. We've entered the narrative phase of the bubble, where the story itself is more important than the product. But here's the danger. The story has real economic consequences. When markets shift momentum into belief, governments shift too. Regulators hesitate, policymakers stall, labor protections weaken, standards loosen, and the system quietly reorganizes itself around the new power. This transition is already visible in legislative debates on automation, where oversight moves slower than innovation, a phenomenon the NBER highlighted in its long-run technological displacement research. The bubble is expanding not because AI is ready, but because the world is unprepared to question it. But what actually happens when the AI bubble finally breaks? Housing bubbles take wealth. Banking bubbles take savings. Tech bubbles take stability. But an AI bubble takes something far more devastating, the future pathway of an entire generation. When the crash comes, and it will, companies that overinvested in automation will scramble to rebuild teams they eliminated. But the people they eliminated won't be there anymore. Their experience won't exist. The pipeline that once fed industries will be gone, and a generation will have been pushed back 10 years with no way forward. This is the part nobody wants to admit. If enough people lose work, you don't just get unemployment. You get disconnection. You get despair. You get social fracture. You get the collapse of mobility. A nation isn't built on its wealthiest winners. A nation is built on the millions trying to climb. When AI collapses that climb, it collapses the promise. And yet, AI will still advance. It will still evolve. It will still grow stronger. The question isn't whether AI replaces people. It's who it replaces first, and who gets written out of the future entirely. Because technology doesn't break societies, inequality does. And AI is accelerating inequality at a speed no institution can control. The bubble isn't just economic. The bubble is human. If you want to understand these shifts before they hit you hardest, stay close. Awareness 1, to stop the system from changing. But it will keep you from being blindsided by a future designed without you in mind.